What's up, YouTube?
This
Jinx.
is Dining with Two Worlds podcast tonight.
And what is the gentleman having this evening?
Well, as I already stated, all these best pizza you can get for $2.
Look, man, I fuck with an Aldi frozen pizza. I think they're good.
They have like the cheese stuffed crust one, which is like, really good, but at the same time, I was like $7.98. I'm just gonna go with the old $2 boy.
Yeah, they do get some fun, like fancier frozen pizzas there sometimes, or like, partially baked pizzas.
Really stupid too, though. They had one, or they had two. This was like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. It was pumpkin crust pizza or beet crust pizza. It's like whatever stoned German is coming up with this stuff, just fire him.
Yeah. Now, have you attempted the cauliflower crust before?
Yeah,
What do you think?
not a
People are
fan.
pretty torn on it, I think.
It's one of those things where it's like you just have to like cook cauliflower because that's what it tastes like.
This is not going to surprise you, Casey. I do like that.
I know you'll love it.
I will admit sometimes the texture is not great, and I don't have it often, but I've had
Yeah.
it a couple times, and I'm like, it's fine.
The weirdest thing is like they'll have it was because it's like for the keto crowd, but it's cauliflower mashed, like loaded mashed potatoes. So it's like cauliflower with cheese and bacon on top. It's like, oh, okay, so you're taking cauliflower, making it not, like trying to make it into mashed potatoes. So it's not as good as mashed potatoes, and then you're covering it with cheese and bacon, so it's not even healthy.
Like just eat the damn potato.
Yeah, just eat the potato. Potatoes are good for you.
I love potatoes. Is there a more versatile food, honestly?
I don't know, you hobbit.
But hey, that's a compliment.
Speaking of Lord of the Rings characters, did you know who Doja Cat is, right?
I do.
Okay, she used to be super fucking hot. Keyword is used to be because she was on Hot Ones recently, and she looked like she had the one ring a little bit too long.
I need to get caught up on some hot ones, but I did watch the Bobby Flay one because we're Bobby Flay fans around these
Yeah.
parts. And I really like the ones with Gordon had one and Alton Brown had one. Those are just really good episodes.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to see the Bobby Flay one. I didn't watch the Doja Cat. I just saw like the pictures. Oh, she is, like I said, looking like Golem. It looks like Andy Serkis did the motion cap for her Hot Ones episode.
Oh man, that's rough.
And it's like it's fair to make fun of it because it's all stuff she chose to do. It's not like, oh, she got in a car wreck or whatever. It's like, no, she chose to cut her hair like that and bleach it and then put her makeup on looking terrible and shave her eyebrows off. It's like those are her choices. So you're allowed to make fun of that. It's like I choose to grow this terrible beard out.
He really did shave her eyebrows off. My
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
It's not the best look. Not the
No.
best look.
But if this video gets 2,000 likes, me and Jake will both Doja Cat ourselves up. One of us will shave off their eyebrows and do the terrible lipstick. The other one will do their hair up like Doja. You decide.
I'm not shaving my head.
I mean, come on, man. It's for the pod.
All right, shall we do our Mad Lib?
Let's do it.
Today we've got Scooby-Doo.
Okay, really quick. Have you ever seen that video? It was so fucking stupid. I'll try to find because I think I have it saved on Instagram, so I'll send it to you after this. But it was a Wheel of Fortune, and like the answer was like Scooby Doo, and like Pat Sajak tries to do a Scooby Doo impression. He's like, like it's So fucking stupid.
Oh, I would love to see that.
I'm gonna try to find it really quick. It's like pretty sure I saved it because it's like it's almost like he's like mimicking giving head. He's like like that. It's like Pat, what Scooby Doo do you watch?
Oh shit. All right, this one's called Welcome to the Mystery Machine. So an adjective.
Shitty.
Shitty, all right. A noun.
Um, nipple.
Adjective.
Big.
Adverb.
Quickly.
Person.
Jake.
Adjective.
Horny.
Wow, another adverb.
Oh man. I already did the one I know.
That you haven't even said your go-to for the adverbs.
Really? I don't even know. I haven't done an
You
adverb
usually
in
will
years.
say hastily,
Oh,
but that's the same as quickly.
yeah, hurriedly.
Okay. A noun.
Van.
A vehicle.
Dune buggy.
An adjective.
Big.
You already did that one.
Oh, extra large.
A color.
Um, Periwinkle.
I think that's your favorite color at this point.
I mean, it is the color that I love most, so you're right.
Also the color of Cap Shield.
Yep. But I thought that was mauve. Mauve.
Oh, maybe it was. I know you've said periwinkle
Oh,
before.
I know I have.
Plural noun.
Stoners. Gotta stay with the Scooby Doo aesthetic.
A noun.
Dog, because mine is like, yeah, I know you still got some pizza up there, but I don't.
Noun.
Pizza.
Verb.
Fuck.
It's not one of our Mad Libs without fuck in there.
Right.
And finally, a noun.
Oh. Let's go with a fun noun. Fire.
Excellent. Okay. Welcome to the Mystery Machine. Any good gang of detectives needs their own shitty van, and the mystery nipple doesn't disappoint. The Mystery Machine is big enough to quickly carry your entire group. It can carry Fred, Daphne, Velma, Jake, and Scooby. There's even enough room for God, I try to keep it together. There's even enough room for horny do. The Mystery Machine is also hurriedly reliable. You can't have your vehicle breaking down on every van, and and this van never does. When someone is in trouble, you need your dune buggy to get you there. The Mystery Machine is also painted extra large colors. Who can resist the green, blue, and periwinkle on the body? And those groovy stoners on the side are the perfect touch to let everyone know that you've got a dog to solve. So get behind the pizza, fuck on the gas, and feel the fire of the mystery machine.
Nice.
That one was pretty Mad Libby.
It was.
Oh, goodness. All right.
I found the video. I sent it to you via text message.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, let's look at it real quick then.
All right. I set my empty plate down while we were doing the Mad Lib because Hallie didn't believe me.
Yeah, Shaggy and Scooby Doo. Whoa! That's crazy. I have just one thing to say to you.
That wasn't anywhere close to Scooby.
I know. It's like, what Scooby are you watching? He's like, actually, that was my Shaggy impression.
That's my Vanna impression.
It's like, I met Casey Kasem one time, and I think I got it down.
Oh gosh. Okay. Anyway, what were you saying about Hallie?
I set my plate down to show Hallie I didn't have anything left on there. She kind of goes up to it. I looked at it about 3 times now. She just walked away and like laid it like at the other end of the thing. She's like, I don't care about you anymore.
Like she hasn't eaten half a loaf of bread this week.
Dude, it was like there was only 2 pieces of bread left in that thing. They were just knocked over, and that was sourdough bread. So her microbiome is so good now.
Man, I love sourdough.
I'm okay with it. Like, I have a feeling if I had got proper fresh sourdough, not like store-bought sourdough, like, you know what I mean? Like from an actual bakery, probably would have been better.
Yeah.
But
was it the Aldi brand?
Yeah.
See, I don't mind that stuff. I think it's pretty good. I mean, I like to toast it though. Do you toast it?
No, it was, like I said, it was fine. It just wasn't, it kind of fell apart. I was putting that with I was making barbecue sandwiches with it from some pulled pork that I pulled myself.
Oh, well, then you definitely should toast it, man.
I don't have a toaster. I'm not rich like you with your comic book shop. No, I'll use an air fryer sometimes to toast stuff because it's got the bake settings and stuff. But
my favorite use of sourdough bread is to toast it, but then we were just talking about runny eggs earlier. Just dip that toast in some runny egg.
Oh yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're the egg cast. Shall we get into the episode?
Yeah, let's do it. Speaking of eggs, really quick, you know who Rick Fox is?
Rick Fox.
He would have been like, he's a basketball player before you watched basketball.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, he was on the Lakers and shit, but like he was in a bunch of Jake and Amir episodes too because he acts. So he was in Shallow Hal. You've seen Shallow Hal
a long time ago.
Okay, but he was the guy that made Shallow Hal seeing, like the beauty on the inside. That was Rick Fox. But
okay,
he like he's on Jake and Amir and he plays himself, but he has like this obsession with eggs, and it's so fucking like weird and funny. Like he'll just like because Amir is like a huge Lakers fan, and so he got Rick Fox, and like he's like, yeah, I just want you to be obsessed with eggs, and so like he would just like have different eggs and smash them on Jake's head and stuff.
I think I remember 1 or 2 egg
probably
skits. All right, here we go.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the Diane Belmont to my Wesley Dodds. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. What's up with you?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm really fucking excited that we've got a good chunk of news this week.
And look who had some mail.
Hey. Now, here's the question. When did you get them?
I think Friday or Saturday.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So a normal fucking time.
Yeah. Oh, so this is a little bit off subject, but since you did do a DM for the testing room, I'm going to bring this up really quick. So since you are good at that, there's this thing that's been popping up on my Instagram that like It's basically like, oh, you can pay money and then play Dungeons and Dragons or whatever tabletop role playing game anytime. Like it's like it has these set times, and they're hiring. They said for DMs.
Oh,
So I don't know if you'd be into that, but then also Fiverr, like people on Fiverr are just like, yeah, I'll be your DM.
man, that's kind of genius, and that's something I never even thought of being an option. Because like if you get on like the D&D subreddit, it's people just saying, man, I wish I had a group. My group's inconsistent. If you did that, I mean, that's
Yeah.
genius,
Yeah.
honestly.
Like with that one thing, because they do Call of Cthulhu, and I've been wanting to play that for forever. And I'm like, dude, I kind of just want to do this so I can finally play that fucking game.
You should, man. You might really enjoy it. That's cool. All right. First up, though, Monday Night Football. That's a pretty good jingle.
You know how I know that?
How?
Like I know I'm doing a bad impression of Bill Burr doing a bad impression of it.
All right, this week we've got the Dallas Cowboys versus the Los Angeles Chargers.
So my heart wants me to go with the Cowboys because fun fact about me. First grade, I think it was first grade. First grade Casey loved Cowboys. I had Spurs and a cowboy hat, and I also had a Dallas Cowboys jersey and helmet.
Whose jersey did you have?
I don't think it had a name on the back.
Oh, okay.
I think it was just Cowboys. I was like, yeah, I'm a cowboy. So I want to say
wait. What do you mean first grade, Casey, love Cowboys? You don't love Cowboys now?
Well, I don't really love the Dallas Cowboys, but Brokeback Mountain's my favorite movie.
Okay.
So
explain some things.
Just like what, when we're at C2E2, I'm like reaching over, like, oh, I'm just grabbing some nuts. I've never seen the movie. I just know like the parody and Scary Movie 4.
All right, so your heart says Cowboys.
But like everything I know about football is saying Chargers.
Well, we'll see. They're in the third quarter. And as of right now, it's 10-7 in favor of the Cowboys.
Oh, shit.
So it's a close game.
Dak Prescott's coming alive.
Yep. Yeah, that's the one Cowboys player I know.
Didn't they get like another QB? And they're like, oh, we're going to use both of them. And then like everyone's like, this isn't going to work. You're going to get rid of Dak, aren't you?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah. That's just Instagram shit that I don't really read. And I just kind of see like the picture of, like, read our bio for more. I'm like, no, when I keep scrolling.
All right.
Who do you got? You got the DCs or the CHs?
I wanna say Chargers just because Cowboy fans are kind of annoying. So
Are they like, how would you compare them to like in the NBA world? What would be their
probably
New York
like
Knicks fans?
like if New York is doing well
I got
like that. Because for some reason, and I don't know, they've had this nickname for a long time and I don't know why or how they got it, but they're called America's Team. And that's also just so annoying to me for really no reason. It's just like, why them?
Shouldn't it be like, I know this is gonna like hurt your heart, but shouldn't it be Green Bay since they're kind of the ones that have the most wins?
I mean, I think an argument could be made, but
Maybe it's just because they're blue and they have a star. Like, we're America's team.
right.
Look at the color and the star, you idiots.
Like, well, gosh, we can't argue that.
Like, oh, fuck. The Green Bay Packers are punching the air like, I wish the flag was yellow and green.
Oh, man. All right. On to our trivia. Where'd I put those cards?
Is it behind your ear?
No.
Oh. That'd be really fun if you're like, I'm like, hey Jake, why don't you open your mouth? You're like, well, and then and the cards come right out, and I'm like, magic.
Dude, what the fuck? All right. As per usual, we've got 3 cards, 2 questions each. Casey will give you all a few seconds to think on it before giving his answer. Here we go. True or false? Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, was the first leader of the Thunderbolts team.
That is false.
That is false. Who was the original leader of the team?
It was Hawkeye. No, it wasn't Hawkeye because he would have been the second leader. Who was the first? Was old helmet dude, Baron
Mhm.
Zemo.
Yes, Baron Zemo. Very good, dude. I didn't know that, so I was curious if you did.
Yeah, because that was I've only heard about it and I hear it's awesome. Was like when the Thunderbolts first came out, they were like new superheroes, but it turns out they were all the all villains and shit. So
Can you tell me what series or what title the Thunderbolts first appeared in?
was it a Hulk?
It was a Hulk, yes.
Okay. That one was like I was like 40%. That was my confidence level on that one.
I am sitting on one of those books because I'm hoping that the
Get up.
Thunderbolts hoping that the Thunderbolts becomes a thing in the movies.
I think it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. All right, question 2. It is multiple choice if you need it. With what longtime foe did Doctor Strange merge to fight the Hulk during the events of World War Hulk?
Or Mamu, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Man, it's like I feel like such a bad Hulk fan because I've never read World War Hulk because the art is so fucking bad.
Question for you, Casey. Who does the artwork on that?
John Romita Jr., Jake's favorite.
Yeah, buddy. I've not read it either. And I hear it's pretty fucking good.
I have too, but it's like I remember flipping through it at because like the art that they had like prior to that was so good. And then it cuts to this. I remember flipping through it because like my subscription that I had didn't do that because it was like an event book. So I was getting the Hercules stuff instead. That's when I'm like, oh, this is amazing. But I don't know what happens in this event. So then like I was flipping through it at Walden. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this art? This is so bad.
If I remember right, wasn't one of the biggest fights Sentry?
That's how it ends. It's like Hulk and Sentry are fighting, and then they both depower because they just beat the shit out of each other. And then Meek like wants him to get mad again, and it's revealed Meek was the one that blew up Planet Hulk. Spoiler alert for a book that came out 12, 13, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. Honestly, I think close to 20.
I think so too.
Yeah, I just remember seeing that art of terrible JR Jr. drawing Sentry flying forward, but anytime he did it with Superman too. They're just stiff as a board flying straight and it looks terrible. Okay, this one is maybe the hardest question that's been asked. What is the original heroic alter ego of socialite Janet Van Dyne?
The original?
Don't hang yourself up on that. I was being very sarcastic.
Oh, okay. The Wasp.
Yes, the Wasp.
I was like, was she something before? Because I know there was that weird era of Hank Pym comics where he's like, I'm just a shrinking guy. I'm not a superhero.
Yeah, maybe they threw that in there to try to trick people.
Yeah.
All right, another multiple choice. What is the name of the sensei who trained Matt Murdock?
Stick.
Yeah, here are the hilarious other choices. We've got Stick, Stone, and Bone.
Nice. I bet Bone taught Matt a few things. You know how stupid I am? This is just something that I gotta mention. I never put two and two together that Splinter was like a parody of Stick, because it's like, oh, he's smaller and it's the Splinter. I've never put that together until I heard someone like basically do that.
Spoon feed that to you.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god.
My whole universe is shattered.
It doesn't help that like I knew Splinter from like early on in my life, and then like I wasn't reading Daredevil, when I was a kid, and that was more recent. So
Yeah, you get
I'll blame
them.
that.
Yeah. True or false? Beast was the first former member of the X-Men to join the Avengers.
True.
Yes. And finally, multiple choice if you need it. In what anthology comic did Thor make his first appearance?
Journey into Mystery.
Correct. Nice job, man. You got a perfect score that time. Oh, wait.
Let us know.
No, you did. You did. I
Let us know
counted
down
some of them.
below. Let us know down below. How'd you guys do?
Yeah. Speaking of letting us know down below, we had a couple of YouTube comments this week.
Yeah.
Well, 3 technically. One was from user at Casey Morse, who said, I love a blue waffle.
Google that. Image search.
To which the testing room said, God damn it, Casey.
They're like, me too.
All right. So first one is from frequent commenter Eric. Eric says, Shazam 4 was great. It was my pick of the week. That was Zeus influencing Billy to romance Queen Bee. I thought it was hilarious that Zeus is still a horn dog. Very, very true. Plus Billy trying to hide in a space ape suit that was way too big for him. My 4 comic picks to know me would have to be Joshua Williamson's Robin series, Jeremy Adams' Flash, Peter Tomasi's Superman during Rebirth, and Ben Percy's Ghost Rider. I
feel like me and Eric would get along well.
Yeah. You like all those things.
I know.
I haven't read a couple of those, but I like the ones that I have read. Thank you, Eric. And then the old testing room commented. He said, what's up, fam? It's your dude Preston here with my 4 comics from this past decade that are most influential. Going to start off with a mutual from Jake's picks and say Batgirls, then The Last Ronin, John Constantine Hellblazer.
Wait, it's Preston writing this out, so you have to say Constantine.
Yeah. I love that you did that callback. Yes, John Constantine Hellblazer and Peach Momoko's Demon Days. The Last Ronin is definitely the best Turtles comic I've ever read. JC Hellblazer is just the most recent run, which is good, but I love most Constantine-related stuff. Peach Momoko's Demon Days is a super interesting take on Marvel mythos and is just as equally gorgeous. I agree. And Batgirls is probably my favorite writing in comics since I started reading them again in 2021 when Star Wars The High Republic started. I don't disagree, Preston. I really, really love the Batgirl series.
Now, did you basically just was Preston just coming into the shop and he was like, yeah, I just want these Star Wars books. And then you're like a drug dealer was like, how about I just get you maybe, a little sample of this other stuff, and you got him addicted.
I would like to think that I got Preston hooked on a few things. He definitely had his favorites when he came in. But yeah, I think I've got him on 1 or 2 things here and there.
Right on.
All right. Thank you, fellas, for commenting. We appreciate that. But now we will get into the news. New York Comic Con happened, so yeah, there was actually lots of stuff to talk about. So I've got a few more than Casey. I'll get us kicked off here. The Daredevil Reborn show writers were all fired this week. The original showrunners are still on as executive producers, but they want a new direction, but are going to keep what's already been filmed. That kind of tanked my excitement, dude. What do you think?
So I heard they're not even keeping stuff that's already been filmed.
I mean, maybe they changed their mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm still interested. I also heard that they like Punisher, as far as like the billing of people, Punisher's now number, like John Berthnell's Punisher's number 3 on the list, right? You know, Daredevil's number 1. I don't know who would number 2 be, but so I guess they're gonna do more stuff with Punisher. It's like I was thinking about this Daredevil show, and even though it's called Born Again, I have a feeling it's gonna be more like Mark Waid's run than Born Again or any Frank Miller stuff, which it's like I loved Mark Waid's run, as I've stated multiple times, but I don't think you can rush into it. Like there was like a very specific reason why it was the way it was. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna I'm still excited, but I'm a little worried.
So the stuff that happened between or like early season 3 was taken from Born Again. Essentially, like some like direct, like that's the comic panel right there. So it's weird that they're calling it that because they're not just gonna reuse that same stuff. And also, I think Punisher had a good send off at the end of that season. So I'm not saying that he can't come back because that is silly to say, but it's like are they gonna kind of redo that same storyline with Punisher, you know?
Like I wouldn't push Punisher as like one of the main characters, but I think having like an episode with Punisher to show like, oh yeah, he is Punisher now. He isn't Frank Castle anymore. Like he is 100% Punisher, killing these people and all that stuff.
I also think that it would be way better if they decided that they're not going to use anything that's been filmed already. I mean, if they're going a new direction, then scrap it and start over.
And you know what they should do? They should bring back Foggy and Karen.
So what I heard is that the new direction that they want is to make it more in line with the Netflix series.
Well,
So
those two need to be in it, and you know, like because I remember hearing like Kirsten McDuffie was supposed to be in it. You know, like the girl from Mark Waid's run. It's like not yet. We don't need her yet.
And also, I wish that they would do more with Bullseye. I mean, I thought that dude was awesome in that show.
I agree.
So I don't know. We'll see, but my excitement's definitely gone down.
Yeah.
And then keeping up with some show stuff. The actors guild negotiations were suspended as of, I don't know, it's like Wednesday or something like that. The studios walked away and refused the latest offer from the actors. And what I heard from the Actors Guild was that their like counter offer was even worse than like a previous offer. So it's just like, damn, how much longer are we gonna be at this?
Yeah. Well, hey, studios, if you want some very cheap talent, me and Jake will gladly take, I don't know, let's say $1,000 an episode. But you also have to pay for the backlog. So $1,000 for all of our old episodes too.
Yep. And I think that's pretty reasonable.
And we will say this episode is brought to you by Disney, Amazon, some other companies. We don't care.
Big baller brand.
Yeah, we are basically prostitutes. We'll do whatever you want for that sweet, sweet cash. So Variety reported that all of the Snyderverse cast are all on the outs and may play new characters. And by Snyderverse cast, it just means like the main Justice League. It doesn't mean ones that, like Viola Davis. She was technically Snyderverse, but she doesn't count. But they may play different characters, like Jason Momoa, who is now in talks to play Lobo in Superman Legacy. This movie's gonna, like, if Lobo's in it also, that movie's gonna be just too fucking overpacked, as I've said already.
Yeah, Lobo doesn't need to be in that movie.
Not because Lobo being in the movie would be fine, but it's like, oh yeah, Lobo, fucking Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, more characters, and then the actual villain.
Well, if those leaguers are going to be in it, maybe it's just a quick scene where they're all fighting Lobo or something.
That's not necessary, though.
But it could happen.
It could. Doesn't make it good.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Okay. I've got one more bit of show news, and then it's on to comic stuff. Akira Toriyama announced at New York Comic Con Dragon Ball Daima. It's the return of Kid Goku for a new story. I saw a lot of people complain about this. I am excited.
I'm disappointed because everybody wants more Super, and this isn't that. So it's a letdown that way. And it's not just Kid Goku, though. It's Kid everybody. They all get de-aged, and it's supposed to take place. Some people I've seen online, some rumors are saying it's supposed to take place before Super. But then other people are like, that's not possible because Supreme Kai is separated from the old dude that he was, fused with. And that didn't happen until Super. So it's like, I don't know what's going on, whether or not. But it's also like Toriyama is notorious for forgetting stuff that he had done previously. So it's like, who knows?
And how could he not? He's been doing this for 40 years.
Yeah, and the way he talks, he seems to be very tired of Dragon Ball, but people don't let him quit.
Yeah. I don't know. I follow him on Instagram, and I guess anything can be said on Instagram, but he seems very motivated with this series.
Yeah.
So maybe it's what he needs, Yeah,
because I read an interview with him one time where he was like, yeah, I think it peaked at the Frieza saga, and then they just wouldn't let me stop.
Yeah. I like some of the other sagas quite a bit, but that's what made everyone fall in love, right?
I think the Cell saga is like where they probably should have ended it, because then it's like, oh yeah, Gohan's the new hero. You can go off from there, and then they're like, no, we're gonna do the Buu saga and then GT.
Yeah, I recognize that the Buu saga isn't the best, but there are a lot of good moments in that saga that I like.
There's just so much of it that fucking drags.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I'm excited for it. I love standard Dragon Ball era a lot, so it just reminded me of that. So it's just pure nostalgia fueling my thoughts on that.
And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to get my hopes up for it, but the animation looks fucking dope. Because like Super kind of got rough in parts, and this one looks pretty fucking crisp. So we'll see how that goes too.
I'm also kind of hoping that Daima is just done by like a different team. Just have a team work on Super, have a team work on Daima.
Yeah. All right, so this is just a rumor I saw, but in the next 2 years, Universal's gonna be buying WB Discovery. Which, if that happens, we could get Dom driving a car right next to Batman as they fucking fight Godzilla or something stupid. Like, Jake, I know you can't see the bottom half, but you're like just so erect thinking about it, aren't you?
I mean, I'd be their opening night. Okay, on to some comic stuff. Scott Snyder, Frank Thierry, Ryan Smallman, and Tom Hardy are launching a new comic called Arcbound. And Tom Hardy is going to be lending his likeness, much like Keanu Reeves did for Berserker. I don't really care about that too much because I didn't really care about Berserker, even though it was well received. Unless people whose opinions I respect are like, this is really fucking good, I'm probably gonna pass on this.
Now, do you think though that's something that like Berserker was like a fucking crazy sellout, you know? Do you think that's gonna be the same way?
No, because dude, in comics, it can really only happen once.
I gotcha.
Like, I think people are gonna order a lot of it because Scott Snyder's name is on it. And people are gonna overorder it because they're gonna think that it's gonna sell out like Berserker, but it's not gonna.
Yeah.
So that's just my semi-professional opinion.
I think I love the idea of them being like, oh, we're using this actor's license. And then like Mark Bagley just sitting back. He's like, wait, you have to ask for permission? I just trace them all the time.
I know, right?
Okay, so we're gonna get a new Godzilla short film for Godzilla Day on November 3rd. It's Godzilla versus Megalon. We saw a trailer for it. It looks pretty sweet. I'm pumped. I love that they're doing the new little trailer, like the new little short films and stuff. Yeah, I'm into it.
Where does Megalon fall on your list of kaiju?
I mean, I like him. The movie's so much fun. Like, it's one of those ones where it's like, yeah, this is kind of like the pinnacle of silly Showa movies. So it's a lot of fun that way. I enjoy it, but at the same time, it's like Megalon's not the best part about that movie. The best part's Jet Jaguar.
Is that the one? Does Megalon team up with Gigan or something in
Yeah,
that one? Okay. Yeah.
it's so.
I know I've seen clips from that. I don't know if I've seen the whole thing.
I know you've seen clips from that. I know everyone listening's seen clips from that because that's like Godzilla does the tail thing in that, you know. So yeah, everyone here, everyone's listening has seen clips from that.
Yeah. All right. Some bits of Marvel news. So Chip Zdarsky and Daniel Acuna are going to be doing a limited series called Avengers Twilight. That's going to be out in January. I know that Steve Rogers is in it, but I don't know who else is on that team. But
So I actually heard what it's about. It's Steve Rogers and he meets a vampire, and the vampire is like really into him. And so then they're like kind of flirting, but then he meets a werewolf too. And he like trying to decide which one he wants to end up with, either Edward or Jacob. That's the werewolf and the vampire's name.
I am the embodiment of the meme. You had me in the first half. You actually don't know what it's about?
No clue.
Okay.
It's just Avengers Twilight, I'm assuming.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll find. Imagine if it were though.
There's a part where Edward's got a hold of Steve, and he's like, say it. He's like, vampire.
Then just rips his arms off.
Yeah.
Well, hey, what a segue, because the other one I wanted to talk about, there's an Avengers Blade crossover happening called Blood Hunt, and that's going to happen in the spring of 2024, and that'll be written by Jed McKay, one of my recent favorites, along with Pepe Larraz and Marta Gracia on the art, and Blade, the Avengers, and Miles look to be the main focus of it. And then it's just them versus Vampire Nation, it seems. So, or I don't know, some sort of form of people fighting vampires or each other. So we'll see. We will see. But I think that'll be pretty cool. I think Jed knows how to write cool vampire shit as shown in Moon Knight. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm just like, this Blade book's about to be over, and it's like, man, I wish he would just get in his own ongoing instead of being like, no, we're doing a Avengers event about it. It's like, oh, hope this is better than the Moon Knight Avengers event.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. I don't know. You know how it is, though, man. The big two can't go more than a month without doing an event.
Yeah. But speaking of events, Gigabash, which is a fun game, a video game for that, are all, I think it's on all of the platforms now, but it's getting more DLC because, like, I think last year they got a DLC with Godzilla and Destroya and Gigan, and what was the fourth one? Godzilla, I don't remember. Oh, Hiru. And now they're getting more DLC. It's Ultraman. Don't know who else is going to be, what other Ultra characters, but it's pretty exciting. I'm going to have to get it. Like, the game's fun, but it's also like, it's like, oh, yeah, a very bare bones Smash Brothers with like a bunch of monsters and then Godzilla, those Godzilla characters too. So it's like, it's hard to get overly, hours upon hours of playing against computers like that. So, gets a little old.
Right.
And
I get that.
I'm not paying $49 to play online against people and get my ass kicked. So not doing that. But it comes out November 8th, so that's pretty exciting.
Alrighty. There's a rumor at New York Comic Con that Scott Snyder is going to launch an Ultimates Comics, but for DC. I don't want that personally, but it could be fun, I guess.
I love that idea. I mean, I'm not going to say I would read them, but I think that's a wonderful idea. I think DC's tried it before and it didn't work because DC is ran by fucking morons because they did, like, that's what originally they always said Earth 1 was supposed to be. And then they're like, scratch that. We're just rebooting everything and we're kind of just not keeping up with this Earth 1 stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So, I think it could be really cool though. It's just depending on the creators they get to also take part because Scott can't do it all.
I agree.
And then my last bit of news, Microsoft bought Activision for $69 billion. So, I mean, we can finally get all of that Crash Bandicoot Master Chief / fiction to come true now.
Yeah, there's a handful of games it's crazy to think about Xbox owning at this point, but
Yeah.
it's just, will they do anything with it?
Like,
or will it be another Rare?
Yeah, is Microsoft just trying to be like Disney where they're like, yeah, we're not really making games, like we're not selling as well as we want to, so we're just gonna buy everything.
I mean, apparently they lose money on every Xbox they make because they're hoping that people, buy subscriptions and stuff like that. So I guess this is their way of making up some of that money in the long run.
Yeah. I saw a thing online where someone was talking about how they tried to buy Nintendo and they got laughed out of the fucking room.
Yeah, why would Nintendo do that? They
Yeah.
crush the competition year after year.
Yeah.
It was some I don't remember the stat, but whatever was hot for Nintendo that year outsold PlayStation and Xbox combined. So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't sell either.
Yeah. And I don't know. Their games are for the most part more addicting and they're not like then they're cheaper. Like, like you get like, oh yeah, you get these really cool graphics for Call of Duty, but if I'm not playing it online where I'm spending more money to play it online, it's over in like 2 days.
Yep. Yeah. Games are a weird animal, man.
Yeah. And to hear more about it, listen to the Waiting Room podcast.
Oh man.
I
I
like
like
that I did
that.
the point, like that they're like right over there
I
recording.
know.
They're like, we're the testing room.
how how many times we gotta fucking say it? All right. So we've heard rumors about it, but apparently it's gonna happen for sure. That Philip Kennedy Johnson will be off Action Comics, and DC is going to be launching Superman Superstars, which will be making Action Comics an anthology book like it used to be. Um, Jason Aaron, Mark Waid, and Joshua Williamson are all set to take part in the first 3 arcs, with each arc being approximately 3 issues. So disappointing a little bit because I love old PKJ on Action, but I don't know. Maybe some people will prefer the 3 issue arcs.
Yeah, I mean, do we need another anthology book?
No.
Like the only plus side is I'm excited to see what Jason Aaron, Mark Waid, Josh Williamson are gonna do, but I don't know. Kind of just tired of anthology books.
The only plus I think is that Action should still just be a monthly or twice monthly book at its current price point. It's not going to be a thing where like you get part 1 of Jason, Mark, and Joshua's stuff and it's going to be $9. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But we'll see. Um Something that mostly I am excited about, but we're finally, after many years, getting a new Thundercats comic from Dynamite. It's going to be written by Declan Shalvey with art by Drew Moss. And Dynamite also has plans for comics involving Flintstones, Powerpuff Girls, Space Ghost, Johnny Quest, Wizard of Oz, and We Bare Bears, the show that I've only ever heard Casey talk about.
I've not even talked about that in Lord knows how long.
I know, but you're the only person I know that's seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that Dynamite's doing that, because like DC was producing a Johnny or they never had a Johnny Quest book, did they? He was in it, but it was
He
like
was
that
in
that one that had like a bunch of the
Future
Hanna-Barbera
Quest.
characters. Yeah. And then, Space Ghost, like they've DC's done like 2 Space Ghost books, like one way back in the day.
Yep.
When I was in the Walden book era, and I would like look in the back, I'm like, oh, the Space Ghost book. How about this one?
I don't know. I mean, they probably just lost the rights. I actually think it's kind of
But
cool that Dynamite's doing it.
yeah, I mean, but I just don't know how the rights work because Warner Brothers just owns those things. Like I mean,
I mean,
Hanna,
Dark Horse does a Star Wars book,
yeah,
I mean, Here's what I think about this. Dynamite will actually continually make books about these characters where
Yeah.
DC isn't doing shit with them.
That might be it too. It might just be Warner Brothers going, here you guys go, pay us so you can make this stuff, but
Well,
we
honestly,
don't have enough time to do this shit. Enough editors and all that stuff.
thinking about it, it's probably we have to do something or we lose the rights.
I mean, again though, they like outside of Wizard of Oz, they just straight up own that shit. Like, because it's when Warner Brothers, or I think it was Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers bought Hanna-Barbera. They just bought it straight out. So like they just own. That's just what they own. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Well, who knows?
it might be because they didn't Dynamite for a while, or they might still. Didn't they do the Disney books, like the Disney comics too? Like,
I
I think
don't
they
think
did.
Dynamite did.
Who did then? Because I know Marvel wasn't doing like Scrooge and all that stuff, like Dark.
I mean, a lot of it was like Gold Key and stuff, right?
Well, I mean, like the more recent stuff.
Oh, that I don't know.
Don't you own a comic shop? Come on, man.
Yeah, but those aren't exactly top sellers.
They're on my pull list every week. That's
No,
not
they're
true.
not. Yeah, that doesn't help at all.
All right. But because I think I really thought Dynamite did do that,
IDW.
which IDW, okay. Thought they did at one point. Maybe I'm just crazy or just
I mean,
handsome.
they
I don't
could
know.
have. They probably could have, and also you are. So,
Thanks, buddy.
well, my question is, so like, what was his name? He did Space Age, the Superman book.
Oh, Mark Russell.
Yes, Mark Russell had that Flintstones book at DC that people raved about. I think it even won an award or two.
Probably.
It's like, I wonder if they'll get names like that to come and do these books.
I doubt it. I bet it's going to be more like just stuff that's going to be closer to what you watched on TV.
Mhm.
So I bet that, don't think they're going to try anything crazy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, I think it's good for Dynamite and for fans of that stuff.
You're going to be checking out We Bear Bears #1. Be like, I'm going to finally get into this.
I don't think so.
You're like, oh, the brown bear walks on top of the white bear? Ooh, then that's a political statement I get behind.
Is that a thing?
While they're both standing on top of the Chinese bear. Oh, this is weird.
You just told me that I actually don't know shit about We Bear Bears.
Well, because like they walk around. I don't know. I don't actually know the order of the stacking, but it's like one will be on bottom, second one, and third one.
Why?
I don't fucking know.
Okay. All right. Final news, and I think arguably the most exciting. DC is properly reviving Elseworlds. They're doing a Gotham by Gaslight sequel to the original Gotham by Gaslight called The Kryptonian Age. That'll be by Andy Diggle and Leandro Fernandez. 12 issues. I don't know if I just said that or not. Also, one of my favorite Elseworlds things, Batman the Barbarian. That's going to be 6 issues, written and drawn by Greg Smallwood, which is fucking crazy. I love his art so much. I cannot wait for that. Then there's Dark Knights of Steel All Winter, which is a Dark Knights of Steel sequel. That'll be written by Jay Kristoff with art by Terso Kant. And then we've got Batman Nightfire. I guess it's not related to 007. And that'll be by Clay and Seth Mann. I like Clay Mann, so I could be persuaded to read a Clay Mann Batman book for sure. And then Green Lantern Dark. by Tate Bromball and Werther Deladera. I don't really have any info on that Green Lantern book. I'm pretty sure it's a new one though. And then DC versus Vampires World War V by Rosenberg and Otto Schmidt, who worked on the first one. So yeah, I love DC's Elseworld stuff, so I think a lot of that could be pretty awesome.
I mean, it's cool, but I'm also like, what's the point of, like, it's like we got Black Label, we have all, and then like there were a lot of these books they were already producing, and we all knew it was Elseworld, but it just wasn't under the label. It's like, I don't know. It just seems like they try to make a big deal about something, but they were still doing,
I mean, I don't care what label it's under. I just want
Yeah.
stuff like this.
Are you excited that they're going to be more Dark Knights of Steel? It's not Tommy T.
We'll see what the art's like.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, yes is the short answer. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna do the DC Vampires one.
I'm for sure
Honestly.
not going to.
I mean, I liked bits of it, but the way it ended, it's just like, I don't know if I want to commit to that again if the ending's just gonna suck. And it's the
Yeah.
same creative team. But yeah, like I even think the Gotham by Gaslight could be pretty dope too. Because Andy Diggle's a good writer, and I like
never
Gotham
read-
by Gaslight.
Never read the first one.
It's really short,
Yeah.
really short. But
Is it just like Batman gaslighting some people? They're like, are you Batman? It's like, no, you're Batman. Like,
nah,
what?
it's like Jack the Ripper stuff with Mike Mignola
okay.
on the art. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, and that is the end of the news, folks. Let us know down below which of the new comic announcements are you most excited for.
Yeah. Let us know why those bears stand on each other.
Because we truly do not know.
Nope. But hey, buddy, what'd you read this week?
I read Wesley Dodds' Sandman #1, Superman Lost #7, Green Lantern #4, Batman and Robin #2, Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow #6, Bloodborne, the Bleak Dominion #2, Blade #4, Sonic the Hedgehog 65, and Sonic the Hedgehog Halloween Special.
Oh, no Fishflies this week?
I forgot.
Oh, okay.
I would have.
Yeah. Okay, so I read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter #4. World's Finest, Teen Titans #4. I don't really like this title because it's like the world's finest teen Titans. Wolverine at #38. Jeff Lemire's Fishflies #2. Blade #4. Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow #6. Green Lantern #4. Wesley Dodds, Sandman #1. Batman and Robin #2. And Superman Lost 7 of 10.
We both had quite a bit.
I know. Most of them are together too.
I know, it's exciting. Would you like to go?
Yeah, man. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighters. This is by Paul Aller and art by Ariel Medel. I like the art. I like the story. The one really this is really enjoyable. Baxter Stockman, gets kind of like caught by Ryu and the Turtles and Ken, and he tricks them. But then while they're like trying to go to the thing, they run into Shredder. So we get Leo, Ryu, and I still don't know the girl turtle's name, but like
Jenica?
her, and they're all fighting Shredder, and Ken and Donnie and Baxter all run to stop the bomb. But that's my main problem, because it's like, I want to see Ryu and those turtles fight Shredder, and there's like barely any fighting going on. Like you don't get to see, like it'll be like, oh yeah, a little bit, and then it cuts away, and then it comes back, and Shredder just kicked their butt. Like, oh man, I wanted to see more of this. But then, yeah, Baxter tricked him, but then Bison tricked Baxter. And yeah, it's good though. I like it. I think it's fun, but like that Shredder part was kind of like was a letdown, 100%, just straight up. So I'm gonna go 7.5 out of 10.
All right. First up for me is Bloodborne, the Bleak Dominion #2, written by Cullen Bunn with art by Peter Kowalski. I like the first issue. This continues that. It's good. It's creepy. There's spiders with human faces in this one. Very unsettling. But the hunters are cool. And one of the hunter's apprentices gets turned by the other side and lures these two hunters into an ambush with a big monster that's going to go down next issue, and I'm excited for that. So I like it. I like all the Bloodborne comics. It's an easy 8 out of 10.
Right on. So as someone that's afraid of spiders, does them having human faces make you go, guys, you're not near as creepy, or are you like, this is a bit creepier?
I think it's a bit creepier.
Okay, I thought you were gonna be like, actually, the one thing that creeps me out about them is their faces. So now I'm like, guys, let's cuddle in my bed.
It's not spiders that I hate, it's humans.
Oh, see, we were the monsters the whole time. Okay, so next up, it's the world's finest team, Titan. #4 by Mark Waid and Emmanuel Lupacino on the art. It's a big sleepover issue. Wally's having Roy and Garth over. Garth just really loves drinking water because he's a fish. Yeah, it's fun. They're kind of, dealing with stuff. Roy's like showing off. Wally's parents don't really like him too much, but they, reveal some stuff, and it's good. It's a perfectly adequate issue. Nothing about it made me go, boy, excited about this, but it's also fun. So yeah, probably gonna go a solid 6.5. The art's fun.
Sounds like I'm not missing out on too much.
You're not really missing out too much. Maybe the next issue is gonna be really good, but we'll see.
Okay. Sonic the Hedgehog 65. There's two stories in this. The first one's by Ian Flynn with art by Mauro Finesca. And then the second one is by Evan Stanley with art by Adam Bryce Thomas. So the Babylon Rogues are the three characters from the Sonic Riders video game. They stole some like echidna like statues or something from Angel Island, and Knuckles is mad. So he hires the Chaotix to help track them down. And I always like it when the Chaotix are involved because they're a fun little group. But they go and find what happened with them, and they find out that they're gonna sell the statues off. So they go to the drop point to ambush them, and it ends on a to be continued. And then the second story, it's all about cream and cheese and the robot Jim Earl, who has become one of my favorites. I guess I really just like the robots in Sonic quite a bit. They're all just a good time. But Rough and Tumble are these two brothers that are skunks, and they see Cream's mom go out of the house because she has to go to the store for more butter. And Rough and Tumble decide that they're going to break into the house and steal stuff because they're down on their luck. And then Jim Earl just beats the shit out of them. And at the end, Rough and Tumble decide they're going to take Cream hostage. And at that very moment, Cream catches her kitchen on fire because she's not a very good cook. It's pure chaos, but it was a really fun issue and I liked it. One of the funniest parts, though, I don't know Cream's mom's name, but she's like, "Oh man, we've run out of butter. I could have swore that we had that there was at least another stick left." And it cuts to a panel of one of the Chow just eating the full stick of butter, which I thought was just so funny.
Nice.
And Jamerl, who is very eager to please, is like, "I will procure more. How many pounds do you require?" And she's like, "That won't be necessary. I'll just go to the store. Be back later." But I just love the humor in it. It's so good.
I bet Cream's mom's name is like Milk.
Probably. It's probably something so stupid like that, right?
Yeah, I mean it's like the Dragon Ball Z rules. It's like it's probably milk or like dairy.
Yeah, it was a very good week for Sonic books. I'm gonna give that one a 9 out of 10. I loved it.
And then like 4 more issues. I heard Ken Penders is going to be writing it because it's the 69th issue. He's like, I don't want to be on the, he's like, I don't want to, do the big issue. I want to do the 69 issue. And they're like, no.
Turns out Cream is also gonna be featured in that issue.
Heavy Cream.
Heavy Cream. That's the title.
Heavy Creamcast.
All right, and then the Sonic Halloween special. It's written by Mark Bouchard with art by Jack Lawrence. It's called A Very Chaotic Halloween. It was just a cute special. There's trick-or-treating. All the characters dress up as various things. It's kind of Scooby-Doo. There's like a spooky costume person scaring everybody, so they have to work together to unmask them and figure out who it is. But yeah, I like it. It's just a fun Halloween special. You get to see all your favorite Sonic characters dress up for Halloween.
Is Shadow in it?
No, Shadow's not
Oh
in it.
man. If like Shadow was in it and someone was dressed up like Shrek, that'd be hilarious.
It would be hilarious.
For those that don't know, Google Shrek and Shadow. Like Shrek X, probably Shadow. It's a weird online shipping community.
It's very weird. It will scar you.
Yeah.
But no, it's just Sonic Tails and then the 3 Chaotix boys, which I never had a 32X for my Sega. Did you guys?
No,
It was just an
the only 32X I
attachment.
had was a shirt that I had because I was really fat.
Okay. Well, I've never played the original Chaotix because it was on 32X.
Yeah. Was that I mean, so it was just an attachment for like
Yep.
what the
Genesis.
Sega Genesis? Okay.
Yep. There's plenty of funny videos out there where people have the CD and the 32X and like the Sonic and Knuckles, just like everything attached at once. But yeah, anyway, I'm also gonna give this a 9 out of 10. I just really love Sonic this week.
Right on, man. Just this week, normally you're like, I'm okay with Sonic, but this week,
this week I love it.
Dude, so there's this video online. I'm going to talk about it while I find the creative team for this book. But or this little kid, he's like putting like blue, like he's got like a marker. He's like putting like, what are you doing? It's like make myself Sonic. Why? It's like beat your ass. It's something like that where it's like I'm like, dude, this kid's like weirdly aggressive. But
that is hilarious.
Wolverine 38 by Benjamin Percy and Juan Jose Rip on the art. And I'm gonna talk about Frank de Armada also doing the color art because it's like I do not like the art in this book, but like the way the inks and the actual colors themselves, it looks good. It's just like I don't like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
And there's a lot of that in this book where, you know, it just doesn't do it for me. Like Cap's face here, if I can figure out where I'm pointing. Yeah, right there.
He's angry.
Yeah, but it's fun. Benji Percy's a fun writer. They are gonna get these mutant weapons back, and he's like, he asked Captain America for his help. Captain America's like, yeah, I'll do it. It's like, for Wolverine, anything. I'll commit war crimes. And
Like the good old days.
and so they go to where it's at, and they've like everyone there has been shot up already, and everything's been stolen. It's stolen by these people that's what they do. They just steal shit, and like they sell it to the highest bidder, and like they all dress like cowboys and they have revolvers. Like that's like they've been in a Wolverine book already.
First grade Casey would have loved that.
Dude, I would have been like, these guys are my heroes. All they need to do is throw a football too. But then like Cap and Wolvie sneak on, they beat up a guy, they take their clothes, but Cap is like holding on to his shield still. So it's like Cowboy Cap with his shield.
That would have been a toy back in the 90s for sure.
Dude, it would have been. Speaking of toys in the 90s, I saw the dumbest thing. It's these like they're whatever characters, like one's like a Spider-Man and he's like, oh, I'm Spider-Man, but then you can fold him up so he becomes a web shooter. And it's like the web, just think like where the web, like the shooting part would come out of on a Spider-Man toy so it would work. His taint area. So it's like you have to fold his legs up, and it's like, this is weirdly sexual. But then they also have like
spread them cheeks, boy.
And then they had a Punisher that you can turn into a gun.
Okay.
It's just like, boy, I want to know what you guys were on when you came up with this terrible idea. Yeah. But so we had Captain America, and like of course someone's like, hey, what are you doing with that shield? And he's like, hey, need to get it to the inventory. It's like, oh, okay, go put it in there. It's like, you'd think that they would just be like, hey, we would have heard that Captain America's shield is here. And so, but yeah, Wolverine's like, no, I'm gonna start killing some mofos. And that's what happens. And they get get all the stuff. And Cap donates it all to Nick Fury. He's like, here you go, Nick. And that's about it. And Wolverine's doing some more stuff. It's fun. I like Wolverine. He's cool. The art's not my favorite. Other than that, it's a good time. I'm gonna go 8 out of 10.
All right. I've just got our 6 Muchies.
Yeah, okay. So I'll talk about Fishflies really quick by Jeffrey Lemire. And I like this a lot more than the last issue. We get like some more of that snotty girl and the giant fly boy. It's really cool. It's weird. Yeah, just a little bit more story stuff and some of the fun art. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's just kind of hard to explain the different stuff that happens, but yeah, it's cool. Excited to, I'm interested to see what you think if you do end up picking it up.
I will for sure. I like the first one a lot.
Yeah, I didn't care as much about the first one as you did, and this is a lot better to me. So I'm probably going 8.5. It's good time. It's like, it's a weird book though, so it's like I don't really know how to explain it to people listening. Just know it's interesting. You might like it if you like weird shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
What order would you like to do these in, sir?
Let me ask you this. What do you want to end on?
I was thinking Superman lost.
Okay, then let's go. Let's go Blade, Superboy, Green Lantern, Batman and Robin, Sandman, Superman.
Okay. So it's crazy. It was exactly the same up until Batman and Robin and Sandman.
Well, we're pretty good like that most of the time.
Yeah.
All right, Blade #4, written by Brian Hill, with art by Valentina Pinti and Elena Casagrande. Yeah, I mean it's fucking vampire bullet train, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. Well, how do you like Doctor Strange in this?
I thought he was fine, and they wrote it well enough that I was like, yeah, this explains why he's not really able to do much against this character, the bad guy. Yeah, I thought I liked that aspect of it. I thought it was funny that he goes on this train and he's got all these vampires. You just think after a while the vampires would be like, you know what, bud? You're Blade. I'm just gonna leave because I don't want to die.
I know. He's
You
done
know
it
it.
enough, right?
Yeah.
Really, the only thing I didn't care for was how at the end, it's just like, and here we are at the final fight.
Yep, 100%, dude.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I agree. And then there's some parts where I'm not super hot on the art. Like I like the art okay, but let's find the
I mean,
find
it's
the
not
part.
near as good as those first couple.
Yeah, but right here, I'm not super hot on that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still like it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree with you where well, guess what? We're gonna fight the big fight. We don't even get 6 issues for this book.
Yeah. Very rushed. But I don't know. It is what it is. We'll see how it wraps up on that final issue. But still, all the action's cool. And I do like the other characters that are there with Blade. And also I like how Strange is like, the sword's a bad idea, man. Just why don't you just let me have it? And Blade's like, how about this? How about
Yeah.
this instead? I'm gonna keep the sword. But yeah, the end brings it down a little bit for me, so I'm gonna go an 8.
That's right where I'm thinking too, is an 8. I like it, but yeah, the end, some of the art discrepancy, but it's good. But next up, it's Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow, issue 6. And this is by Kenny Porter with Shanoy Lindsay doing the art. And yeah, I dug it. It's like, yeah, it's a lot of it's like, oh yeah, the big fight ends pretty quickly, and it's just like kind of slice of life stuff. But I enjoyed all of that, and then like Superman being just cool, Superman, all that. This is good. It's a good, solid book. What'd you think?
I loved it, honestly. Like, I'm glad the big fight was over pretty quick because all that stuff back on the farm was great. I think it ended perfectly. A couple weeks ago we were complaining about Superboy constantly being at this I don't know who I am thing. Well, this he realized what he wants and who he wants to be. It was just like, finally we just get like a fucking proper ending, dude. And it's a
Yeah.
good ending.
But then the next Action Comics, he'll be like, again, I just don't know.
Mhm. I know. And I just want to ignore that because this is just, granted, I've read very little Superboy. I just always thought he looked cool.
Oh, he did.
But man, this is the best Superboy I've read, man. It's just a really fucking solid miniseries. And also the art is really killer, especially
Mhm.
Cyborg Superboy, as they called him. He looks fucking dope.
Yeah. No, I like it. My only real knock, and it's not so much a knock on this issue, or it'll be more of the series as a whole and like what DC's doing with Superboy as a whole. I mean, it's like as someone that's read other Superboy, it's like, okay, I want to know what the hell's going on with his continuity, because this does not come off as the same as the pre-New 52 Superboy. But I'm not gonna
which I
hold,
wouldn't even know.
yeah, which I'm not gonna hold that against this book, but still, it's like this doesn't seem like it's the same character.
Yeah. I was a big fan of this book, man. I'm gonna give it a 9. I really
Yeah.
didn't have much to complain about.
Yeah, I'm feeling about the same area. It was good.
Okay, then we've got Green Lantern number 4. It's written by Jeremy Adams with art by Zermanico. And this is my favorite issue of the series so far. I liked all the writing. The stuff with Barry was really good. The art, I think Zermanico, this is like their best work, hands down. It's just a fun team up with the Flash, and I really like stuff that takes place at like the hangar bay where Barry's like, dude, you're a fucking idiot for letting that go, right? Like it's just it's good stuff. Good stuff. I really like it. I didn't read the backup because I just could not get past that art.
Yep.
Um and and it's Peter Tomasi, who I'm a huge fan of. So to not read that is really something. So I can't grade that because I didn't read it, but I really love that first story.
Yeah, the main story is really good. I don't have much to add. The art's awesome in it. Barry is written fun. Like Jeremy Adams I don't think he really ever wrote Barry in the Flash. Like I don't know. I don't remember. I can't ever put my finger on, except for during the war of like the 1 minute war, that like Barry was actually in the Flash. So it's like it's neat seeing him here. And it seems pretty awesome in this. Hal's still pretty cool. We get a little bit, we learn a little bit more about the ring, that Hal's ring, and so that's cool too. And yeah, it's great. The backup story, I just had no interest in at all, and so I didn't read it. So that is going to bring it down, because it's like, $4.99 for a book, and we're paying for the backup story. And it's like, I don't give a shit about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving it an 8. It would have been a 10 if it was all Flash and Green Lantern, but since we got that backup story, it brought it down.
Yeah. Yeah, I think an 8's fair too. I don't want to take it down too much because that's how good that first part was. Which should say something because I haven't read Green Lantern like at all ever. So this has me hooked. I think Green Lantern for new readers is in a very good spot because the John Stewart book is good too.
Now, didn't you read Venditti's Green Lantern, or no? Because I know I told you to read it a lot.
I read all of the stuff with Orion or any
Okay.
parts with New Gods.
Okay.
And that book was fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, if you're listening to this and you're like, I like Green Lantern, but I don't know where to start. Honestly, you should probably start with Jeff Johns' run, but I don't like that. So I'm going to say read Venditti's. It was awesome.
Yeah. Art was killer on that too.
Oh, yeah. All right. So Batman and Robin, issue 2. This is by Joshua Williamson and Simone De Mayo on the art. Art in this is wild. We get some awesome stuff. The story, I'll say the dialogue's written well. The story I'm just kind of so with. I was like kind of disappointed because that first issue was such a banger. This one I'm like, this is fine. What'd you think though?
I guess it's not quite as good as the first one, but I'm still totally on board. The dialogue's
I'm
great.
still on board, but when you come out of the gates swinging like that, and then like it's like, oh, round 2. I'm a little worn out, guys.
Right. Nah, it is what it is. He's trying to do a lot with this, with like the school and building up this new villain. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, the art is just lights out. I really like it. And this is the best Batman I'm reading. So
Well, in all fairness, you aren't reading the regular Batman title anymore either. So it's just like the only Batman you're reading.
wow. But I feel like I put in the reps on Detective and
Okay.
Batman.
Fair enough. Oh, dude, speaking of Detective, really quick, have you been keeping up with the backup? Because you let me have the one, that one issue because it had the double covers, and the backup is Your Boy by Dan Waters. Your weirdo.
Oh no, I didn't.
Okay, yeah,
I'll
I
have
don't know.
to go read that then. I had
Yeah,
no
I don't
idea.
remember when it started, but I was like, oh, I need to tell Jake about this, and I forgot.
Now I'm glad you did. I will have to read that immediately. The
But where are you
Tin-Eyed
at with
Man
this one?
is too much fun.
Yeah. If you could get like a team up of Tin-Eyed Man and Mr. Bloom, that's like your dream.
Oh, dude, that would be so funny. Yeah, I think I like this one more than you. I'm probably a 9.
Okay. I'm gonna say 5 because I was gonna say 9, but I'm like, oh, if he's saying he likes it more than me, I guess he does.
All right. Sandman, Wesley Dodds, Sandman #1. It's written by Robert Venditti with art by Riley Rossmo. I fucking adored this book.
It was good. I'm gonna say, even though I know you were like probably reading, dry heaving at Riley Rosno's art, but this is the best it's looked in a while. And I like Riley Rosno, but like he went hard on this book.
Yep.
Like it kind of peaked in like the second page.
Yes.
Like this, it's so cool. He did
Yes.
such a good job. And it's like, yeah, you did so good with that. The rest of it looks good. But like, holy crap, bud. You really killed it there.
Yeah, I really like it. I love that it's set. It's like a period piece. But yeah, the only thing is just I'm trying to get past how some of the characters look because of Sandman Mystery Theater. Um, like Diane just doesn't look the same.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more of a Jake problem than a book problem. But really, man, I mean, I thought this was just a stellar first issue, and I can't wait for the rest of it.
Yeah, there was parts where for me it kind of dragged a little bit. Like, but I'm like, yeah, it's kind of building up the story too, so I get it. But I still liked it a good deal. I'm probably at a 9 for it.
I'm gonna say 10. It was honestly my pick of the week,
Right on.
and which makes me feel good because I was anticipating this heavily.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad Riley's art didn't ruin it for you.
No, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. My only problem with with his art is his faces. They're just so cartoony and goofy, and you
My
still get that here, but it's good.
it just seems like because I mean I know it's how it is with books. If you look, if like you look at like certain spots, but like it just seems like he must have been phoning it in so hard on that Robin book
Yeah.
because it's like holy crap, this is really good. And that Robin book was rough in parts.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, final book time, bud. This is Superman Lost, 7 of 10 by Priest with Carlo Pagliano doing the pencils. And then we also get Lee Weeks on the art as well. What'd you think?
Before we get into what we know we're gonna get into, let's talk
Yeah.
about the rest of it. Um, the whole Superman talking to himself stuff was pretty wild, or even the stuff with like Jimmy coming in and talking to Superman. I mean, There's some pretty darn good dialogue here, I think.
There is, but when that's revealed that, oh, that's not real, and then he's like, the way it's like, yeah, it's like, I knew it wasn't because Jimmy would never put on a parachute. It's like Jimmy would marry a gorilla for a story. He's gonna put on a damn parachute.
Yeah. He's literally dating a supervillain.
Yeah. So that part kind of lost me. But the art's so good. And the
Dude.
way the main story ended before the epilogue, I was so stoked.
Yeah.
I'm like, of course, this character is gonna save the day.
I know it, and it makes sense. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And Lee Weeks' art, dude. Weeks is one of the best in the business right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the art is just so fucking good.
I agree, dude.
But then we have an epilogue, Casey.
Yep. Fucking wild. I don't really want to go too much into it. I will just say something terrible may be happening to a character in the book.
Let's put it this way. Priest makes Lex Luthor pure evil.
Yep.
Like one of, if not the worst things Luthor's ever done. And he did it with a smug smile on his face while ordering lunch. And I had to take a minute and reflect on it after I read this. I was just
Right.
like, is this really what just happened?
Right. Dude, I haven't stopped thinking about it because it sticks with you after you read it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why this is my pick of the week. It's not like my favorite book I read, but it's also like, holy hell.
Yeah. And what he did is so terrible. But to add to it are some of the silent panels that follow what happens. And it's just a kick in the gut, man.
Yeah.
I mean, God. I don't know. Priest puts you through the ringer with this issue.
Yeah.
But it's like I told Casey via text earlier this week. I think the series needed this book. Because it's been good. Every issue has its good parts. But it's just we're kind of just coasting. I'm not really sure where it's going. What does all this mean?
I think from issue when he ended back up on that planet, that he started on, it's like, oh, okay, our tires are a spinning here.
Mm-hmm.
But him seeing a psychiatrist in this issue and all that other stuff, all of it worked really well. And that ending, when the series is over, we'll talk more about that and all that stuff and whether or not we have complaints on it, because there's certain things about that I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about it, but it's still good. So where are you at with that?
Probably 9.
That's exactly where I'm at too, man. Maybe 9.5 since it's my pick of the week.
Yeah,
but it's really, really good. But what are you excited about coming days?
Well, one is yours, and I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna go with Crypt of Shadows, Incredible Hulk, and She-Hulk.
I figured you were gonna say Green Lantern.
That one could be as well.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say Jay Garrick. I'm just gonna add in She-Hulk because we're both really pumped for that. And then lastly, just a little book, Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, or JLVGVK, as the cool kids are calling it. But now to finish up on Fantastic Four time. So all the time I walk past this box that is sitting in my house. You know what it's full of, Jake?
Unread comics.
No, your birthday presents that I haven't shipped out that I've had I've had since your birthday.
That's funny.
So just give me 4 comics that you're putting off doing, even though like you could easily get it done. You're just too lazy. I need to just take it with me to the gym. Because like every once in a while I'll see your mom like, hey, Jake's mama, come here. I got something for you to give to Jake.
One is going to be finishing Sandman, which is something that I've been wanting to do since we had Drew on that one episode. I don't know why I haven't. I just haven't. I'm trying to think. There's so many. Probably I'd like to read the rest of the Fourth World stuff that Jack didn't do. And there's plenty of it out there. I want to read like the early Thor stuff, even though I hear it doesn't age super well, but it's just one of those things where it's like, what else do I have left? I have that, as well as which I'll probably get to first, is the Dan Jurgens stuff of Thor. The only problem with that is that any guesses as to who drew Dan Jurgens' run on Thor?
It's John Romita.
Yep.
Jr.
Gosh, imagine if Senior did, though. That'd be awesome. Gosh, what's one more thing that I haven't read that I should?
I mean, I know Starman was on that list for a while, but you finally got that done.
Yeah, but there's some other like Brian K. Vaughan stuff that I haven't touched that I really should.
Dude, Brian K. Vaughan didn't do Starman.
No, I know. I'm just thinking.
Yeah,
I'm thinking. Yeah, I know, but that's where my brain's at. I'm just rifling through stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody the other day was telling me to read Ex Machina, and I know that that's not one of your favorites, but
you might like it a lot more than me, honestly, because like I'm not big into politics stuff, and it's like a political drama superhero book.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, oof, this is making me sleepy.
I might just lump Brian K. Vaughan stuff I haven't read, as my last one.
I got you, man.
And you?
For me, I mean, original Superboy run, the 90s stuff would be, pretty cool. And then also like I really want to read the Captain Atom run when they were like doing all of the old Charlton characters were getting their own books. And like I've read the Blue Beetle, I've read the Question, and it's like, Captain Atom would be pretty sweet. And I should 100% read Green Arrow and Green Lantern. So I've never read that, but that's like a classic that, as a comic book podcast host, I should have read by now. And then trying to think of something. I think we should both also, as comic book podcast hosts, read Grant Morrison's X-Men, because I hear that's awesome. And then like right after it was done, all of it got retconned, or a bunch of it got retconned, because Marvel's like they did stuff that should not have, that's just wrote us into a corner. We don't like this. We need to go back to the status quo.
Yeah, I agree. I should read more X-Men in general anyway, but if I'm gonna, Grant's would be a good one to do.
Yeah.
All right. I think that brings us to the end of the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. I mean, I know we were kind of stale on news there for a few weeks, but there was lots of good stuff this week. But on to the closing plugs. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/2worldspodcast. You can follow us on TwitX at 2_worlds_PC and on Instagram at 2worldspod. feel free to email us at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're Two Worlds Podcast over on YouTube.
Yeah, if you guys want to play Gigabash with me, just come to my house because I am not paying for online play. Bring your own controller because I only have the one controller. And then, let us know how you guys did on trivia. And I don't know, send us some trivia our way. Be like, oh, what was your guys' the first 10-star comic book you guys read on the podcast? Like, our fans know more than us. But
that would be a good question.
yeah.
All right.
Probably Daredevil.
Yeah, probably. We'd love to stay and chat, but Casey and I have to go to a charity ball and then smooch. So
Gonna cherish your balls.
okay. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.